Me Time and Murder is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh, well, big surprise. Let's start this thing.
Oh, Trez, what are you drinking?
I am drinking an Aldi lemon and ginger tea. Pretty bog standard for me, but one of my favourites. What are you drinking, Miriam?
I am also drinking lemon and ginger Twinings tea. Very tasty. I love it.
You just had to one-up me.
Twinings.
Me with my basic bitch Aldi and you with Twinings. I love Twinings, so. And even just their packaging as well. Like it always has like a gold foil or just something to elevate it a little bit. It just always feels more high quality.
I thought that we could change up the pampering bit and like talk about different like beauty trends and things like that there.
Ooh, love a good trend. I wonder what the new trends for 2021. I feel like 2020 was the year of, oh gosh, people got really into their home care, obviously, for obvious reasons, but even just things like hacks and, you know, sort of using products within your pantry for beauty became a big trend, especially thanks to TikTok, which I never got on board with. Did you ever get TikTok?
Well, TikTok is illegal in Hong Kong. Well, it's not illegal.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Sorry, I knew that.
I had TikTok for all of 2 days, and then it was taken off.
No way.
Yeah.
So would that mean if you had downloaded the app on your phone within those 2 days, what would happen? That it just wouldn't work, or?
Yeah, it just opens and then it says this app cannot be used in your area, and that's it. That's all it shows.
Evil.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh well.
That's crazy.
Delete.
Yeah. So I mean, you'll see a lot of TikTok videos on Instagram as well. They kind of make their way there.
Yes, I've seen those.
And there's so many skincare hacks with
what?
Like dermatologists just ripping them to shreds, just like trying to educate people.
Like what?
Oh, there's been so many. I mean, just people, I suppose people using quote unquote cheap skincare products like The Ordinary, because it's so cheap and so accessible. People want to kind of try it all, but they'll try multiple actives all at the one time. So they'll put lots of acids on their face, like one after the other.
Oh.
And it's sort of like, maybe you should just use one of those acids once a week. But they'll put like, do you know what I mean? They'll put one on, then wash it off, and then put on another one. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Does it work?
I mean, your skin would be on fire. But people on TikTok actually put their skin through pain for entertainment. I mean, those peel off masks, we've all seen the ones that don't peel off. They like peel off your skin basically. They're really cheap.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
No.
Like people's eyebrows came off with the masks. Like,
oh wait, yes, I have seen those. I have.
You've seen those type of thing. Like those became like really popular in 2020 to watch people destroy their skin, which is bizarro. Just bizarre. And I would follow the dermatologists that kind of are trying to help like educate people. So I'm not following the crazy people. I'm following the dermatologists, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know, even just like at home skincare, like people putting lemons on their face and you would think that would be okay because it's natural, but I don't know, it's hard to know. Like obviously, like it's not regulated and a regulated ingredient, so it's just it's just basically they were saying it's not a good idea.
I didn't realize people were putting lemons on their face. I mean, that's like
people putting lemons. The one people were putting lots of natural things on their face. The only two ingredients that seemed to be approved by specialists were like honey is okay, and I think avocado. Some of them said it's not too bad, but they were saying it's very expensive. Like people using things in their pantry, it's not actually an affordable way of doing it because you know what I mean. So, but anyway. Yeah. So 2021, I wonder what the trends will be.
Yeah, maybe there will be.
Hopefully they'll be a little bit less crazy.
New trends out. People are bored.
People are bored. People are bored. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that was good chat.
Good chat, good chat. Yes, watch this space. Let's see what happens. I'm excited to try new products. They're so affordable now.
But like, I would like to be able to hear other people's their hacks.
Yeah, because I love to know ones that work. I feel like what I hear about usually are the crazy ones because they get attention, but there's bound to be simple.
My thing where I put my hyaluronic acid in the freezer, like that is one of my hacks, and I still use it. I use it all the time.
Yeah. Well, what item did I have recently? And it actually said to put it in the fridge, which I've never seen before on an item. Oh, I can't remember what it was. It's gone. It's gone now.
Okay, it's gone. Okay, Tress, today we are going to talk about the mysterious Peter Bergmann. Do you know this story?
I don't think so.
On Tuesday, the 16th of June 2009, at around 6:45 a.m., Arthur Kinsella and his son Brian are on Ross's Point Beach in County Sligo. They are up at the crack of dawn as Brian was training for an upcoming triathlon. So they're walking along the beach when they see a mannequin that looked like it had washed up on the beach.
Here we go again, the mannequins. We spoke about this before.
Yes.
Oh, people, it's never a mannequin.
Upon further inspection, it is, of course, and unfortunately, a dead man.
Oh.
The man was wearing purple, striped Speedo-style swimming trunks with his underpants over the top and a navy t-shirt tucked into the underwear.
Wait, he had trousers on and underpants over the trousers?
No, he was wearing like Speedos, purple Speedos, and then his boxers over them or Y fronts over them, and then a navy t-shirt tucked into his boxers.
Okay, so Speedos under the boxers.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was on his way swimming or to the beach, you know, when you do that hack where you put your swimming suit underneath your...
That is a normal hack. I seen it on the TikTok, as you call it.
TikTok.
As you call it.
TikTok.
TikTok.
And we did that since we were young, and you'd be surprised the amount of people that don't do it.
Don't do what?
The swimsuit underneath your clothes thing.
Oh right, yeah. I know what you mean.
I've always done that because then it means you don't have to undress in front of everyone when you get to the beach. You just whip it off.
I thought everybody did that.
No. Be surprised.
With the rest of his clothes scattered up and down the shoreline. He had no wallet, money, or form of identification. Arthur and Brian promptly called the Gardaí and said the Lord's Prayer for the poor man's soul.
What year are we in again?
2009.
Oh, okay.
At 8:10 a.m., this unknown man was officially pronounced dead. This is the beginning of the Peter Bergmann case that would take investigators 5 months.
Is he Peter Bergmann, or can you tell me that yet?
Yes.
Oh, he is Peter Bergmann. Okay.
Who is this man and why is he dead on the beach? For these answers, we will need to go back to the 12th of June, only 4 days prior. And then I've wrote down here, record scratch, like to do that, like, you know, when you're like,
rewind. Like a videotape rewinding.
Yeah, now we're going to rewind.
Like, not like that, you know what I mean? Just use that.
Okay, right, I'll use that.
I've saved you some time.
So most of this story is caught on CCTV footage.
Oh,
and there's actually a few YouTube videos that have compiled all of the footage as well.
Oh, I love stuff like that.
But this episode does not ruin the YouTube videos. Like, if you want to watch them, the YouTube videos are basically of this man walking around the town. Like, that's it. He's walking in a hotel. He's walking up a street.
Yeah. Will we link them in the Instagram, perhaps?
Oh yeah, it'll be in the references. But yeah, like, listening to this will not ruin the YouTube videos.
Okay.
Anyway, on Friday, the 12th of June 2009, this is the first CCTV footage of Peter Bergmann. He is at the Ulster bus depot in, I wrote here, Sligo City, Northern Ireland.
Is that the official PC?
That's the PC term. That's what Daddy said. Daddy said this is the PC term. So if nobody knows what we're talking about, Google it. He was well dressed with neatly combed grey hair. He was wearing a black leather jacket, blue trousers, blue socks, and black shoes. He was carrying a black shoulder bag and a carry-on luggage bag, like the one you'd bring on an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Peter was slim, white with a bit of a tan, blue eyes, and tallish. He was about 5'10".
Sounds lovely.
He was clean shaven and appeared to be around 60-ish.
Oh, what you described to me sounded like a young man, but okay.
No,
I don't know why.
Yeah, he's just well put together.
Slim and all of that, and yeah.
Peter boarded bus Erin and arrived at the Sligo bus station at about 6:30 p.m.
Sorry, can I pause it? You can take this out. At the very beginning of the case, you mentioned something about a man and his young son doing a triathlon.
Mm-hmm.
Are one of those people Peter?
No.
Why did we leave them? What happened? Did they find the body? They found the body.
They found the body.
That's who they were. Okay, so I can forget about them.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. They just found the body. Right, sorry. I was just like...
Yeah, because I was like, how will I do this? Will I go linear?
How?
Like...
Yeah, how to intro it. No, that was a really good intro.
Okay,
I was
that's
like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Intrigued.
Okay,
But
good.
anyway.
Because like now you know that he's going to end up dead in the next 4 days.
Yeah, no, that I like that technique. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm experimenting to see if I can do it. Peter boarded the bus Erin and arrived in Sligo bus station at about 6:30 p.m, where he got a taxi which took him to the Sligo City Hotel. He didn't pre-book the room, so he just filled out his information there and then. Peter Bergmann, Instersten, 15 4472, Vienna, Austria.
Okay, that's where he's from.
That's his information. So he spelled his name with 2 N's, which is apparently what Austrians do. They spell Bergmann with 2 N's. And because he was just a walk-in and he didn't book online or anything, he didn't give any like ID or passport. He just said he wanted to stay for 3 nights, filled out the information and paid in cash.
Ah, I thought you would still need to give ID.
Yeah. 10 years ago.
Maybe not all places. Yeah.
I guess not all hotels. It does seem strange. I feel like whenever I go traveling, they always take a photocopy of my ID.
Same.
Over the next 4 days, Peter had a relatively uneventful stay. He had breakfast in the hotel every morning and often popped out for a smoke. He didn't seem to meet anyone or interact with anyone.
Based on CCTV footage, or based on what the police couldn't cover.
On what the staff said.
Okay, the staff. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nosy staff. Watching.
Well, yeah, I think they're just saying like nobody signed in or
no visitors.
Yeah, he didn't have any visitors. Like he ate breakfast alone. Like nobody came with him to breakfast. He didn't meet anyone.
Yeah.
Although he didn't meet anyone, staff said that he seemed friendly enough, just kept to himself. Although staff did notice that he did seem to be busy. Like he always looked like he was going somewhere purposefully. Mm-hmm. Like he was like, right, I have to go here. He always seemed to have like a slightly like determined look in his face.
Okay.
During his stay, Peter was seen on CCTV leaving the Sligo Hotel with a full purple plastic bag.
A full purple plastic bag.
So like a little shopping bag, like maybe when you get in like a drugstore.
Okay, so full of what? I wonder.
You couldn't see through the bag. It was just purple and slightly bulging, not bursting, but it definitely had stuff in it. Like it was full of stuff.
Whatever it is, it can't be anything that untoward, because otherwise you wouldn't put it in a carrier bag, which has, an open top on it.
It was like quite small. It wasn't like a Tesco bag. It was like a smaller one, like maybe a pharmacist would give you, like they're small but thick.
Gotcha.
So he would leave the hotel with a full purple plastic bag. He would then walk about Sligo town, disposing the contents of the purple bag in various locations.
Stop it. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I'm so curious what's in that bag.
Say,
I can hear something in the background.
Oh, you can hear the ambulance?
Yeah, just briefly.
Peter would return to the hotel a few hours later without the purple plastic bag nor its contents.
Oh my God, I'm so intrigued.
Peter did this routinely every morning and multiple times every day that he stayed there.
What?
Yeah. He was seen on CCTV footage every morning, and then a couple of times he would come in and out of the hotel. He would leave with a purple plastic bag full, walk around the town disposing of the bag, and then come back with no bag.
What on earth? I mean, maybe he's trying to be discreet with a small bag, but you're using the same bag. It's obvious now, and whatever it is, I don't know. Would it not be better to put it in a big rucksack and just put the rucksack on your back so you look like that's your backpack for the day or whatever? It just seems very obvious now.
Oh, that's a really good point. I never heard anybody mention
Do you know what I mean?
that.
It's just very, because you don't.
So the next day, Saturday the 13th of June, Peter was seen walking to the General Post Office at 10:49 a.m. Here he purchased 8 82-cent stamps and airmail stickers. According to the price of these stamps and the type of stamps and the airmail stickers he bought at that time, means he could have posted these letters to like anyone in the world. Like these were global stamps. So
Okay.
he didn't need to buy 4 stamps to put on one envelope. They were the most expensive stamps you can get. So he would definitely posted.
Okay, so it could have been 8 separate
It
letters.
was definitely 8 separate letters.
And did we see what he posted and where to, or is that
there is no record
that?
of what he posted or no video footage of what he posted.
Okay.
2 days before his body is discovered, on the 14th of June at about 11:15 a.m., he left the Sligo Hotel, got a taxi. He asked the driver for a recommendation of a nice, quiet beach where he could swim. The taxi driver said Ross's Point, and he drove Peter to the beach. Peter got out of the taxi, looked at the beach, and seemed content. He got back in the car. Then the taxi man drove Peter back to the town and dropped him off at the bus station in Sligo.
Okay, so he just wanted to check out the beach.
Yes.
Almost like he's going to return to it. He's scouting it out. Okay.
The next day, the last day Peter was seen alive, on Monday the 15th of June, at 1:06, Peter checked out at the Sligo City Hotel and handed in his room key. While he was leaving, he was seen on CCTV footage leaving with his little purple plastic bag full of items again.
Purple bag.
Right? A black shoulder bag and a completely different black luggage bag.
What? Completely different.
Different than the one he checked in with.
Where the heck did he put the other one?
I don't know. He then walked to Quayside Shopping Centre, where he awkwardly stood in the doorway for a number of minutes. He just stood there.
Very strange behaviour.
At 1:16, he left the shopping centre with all 3 bags and walked along Wine Street to get to the bus station. By the time he got to the bus station, the purple bag was gone.
No. Do we know where he left it? We don't?
Yeah, no CCTV footage seen.
It's in some bin somewhere.
Where he dropped it. Yeah, he's put it in a bin or something, on the way.
I wonder, does he ever give them to people, or is it just dropping them into bin? And are these incriminating evidence, or just things he wants to get rid of? Or
I know. I never thought of it that maybe he was dropping the plastic bag contents for like a drop off, like somebody would pick it up.
It could be that, or it could be wanting to dump evidence of some kind. I mean, people do that. They put it in lots of different areas so that it's harder to connect them all together.
At the bus station cafe, there is clear CCTV footage of Peter. He orders a cappuccino and a ham and cheese toastie.
Nice.
In the surveillance, he is seen sitting at a round metal table. A man is reading the newspaper opposite. While he eats his food, Peter puts his hands in his pocket and took out
what's going to happen?
Little pieces of paper. He sat eating his toastie and reading the little squares of paper. Then...
How many squares are we talking about?
I think it was like 3, 4, 5.
Takes them out of his pockets and starts reading them. I'm wondering, is this what the bags were full of? Little pieces of paper, but then
no, the bags
were definitely bulging.
No, they were heavy. The bags you could see had something substantial.
I mean, like I know that people sometimes dispose of body parts and stuff, but like it can't be that, because you'd have to cut them up so small. To, like,
definitely wasn't a body part.
So it can't be that. But
no,
it's like...
not a body part. Definitely not. So he's reading the little squares of paper, and he reads through them, and he's like going through one, and he's reading the next one, then he's reading the next one, and then when he's done, He tears up the paper into tiny little squares over and over. Then he gets up and throws the bits of paper into separate rubbish bins in the cafe and sits back down.
He's really obsessed with doing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is he paranoid? Has he got schizophrenia? He thinks someone's after him and like he needs to like, these are little secret messages and they need to like dispose them in bins. I'm starting to think along those kind of lines.
I wonder if he had schizophrenia.
You know, it just feels like very paranoid behavior. You're in a cafe, nobody cares about your bits of paper.
At 2:20, he got a one-way ticket to Ross's Point Beach. No, he got a one-way ticket.
Okay, that's important. Okay.
It seems like he knew that this is where he was going to die. Why would he just get a one-way ticket?
Yeah, I mean, like he got a taxi the first time, but if you're getting the bus, you would get the bus back.
Yes.
You wouldn't get a bus and then a taxi back. So the one-way ticket.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think he has intentions to end his life here. Okay.
16 people report seeing Peter that day. They say he was walking along the beach, saying he was friendly, he was greeting the other beachgoers, you know, giving that little nod and the hello.
Oh, this is so sad. He's gonna die.
But the beachgoers, they noted that he did stand out a bit because he was quite oddly dressed, like fully clothed, wearing a leather jacket and proper dress shoes and stuff on the beach in June.
Yeah. And what about the luggage and everything? Do you have all of that?
The luggage is like not mentioned again. I think he just ditches the luggage on the bus.
The bus station. I suppose if you're going to end your life, you don't need any of that. I mean, where is the purple bag? Like, is the purple bag on the bus?
I don't know. People reported seeing him awkwardly wading in the water with his trousers rolled up. He looked deep in thought.
Okay.
At 10:30 p.m. at night, he was still on the beach. He nodded to a young couple as they passed.
So from 2 p.m. to 10?
He was there on the beach, yeah. At 10 p.m. at night, it would have been freezing.
I've never been on a beach for that long. That's 8 hours, more than 8 hours, half 10 at night. Okay. Yeah, it would be freezing. And he's been wading in the water is, going to be cold.
So the young couple having like a romantic midnight stroll on the beach. They were the last ones to see him alive. Okay. The following morning, Tuesday the 16th of June, Arthur and Brian find Peter.
From the beginning of the story.
The unknown dead man on the beach, and so we are back where we started.
Okay, so they find him. And whereabouts, was he near the water or where did they find the body?
It looked like he had washed up onto the shore.
Oh, so he was wet.
He was like wet, he was like on the beach, like on the sand.
He drowned himself, he waded into the water
and drowned himself. It seems like it. Following the discovery, the investigation takes about 5 months from here. So, who is Peter Bergmann and why is he dead? It took some digging, but authorities were able to trace this man on the beach back to the Sligo Hotel.
Yeah, I'd love to know how they do that. I suppose once they get his ID, but then how do you get the ID?
He didn't have an ID. His
so
wallet.
How do you get that? I mean,
he didn't have a wallet.
How do you?
Yeah, it took them a while, but they were able to figure out that he was staying at the hotel.
How they connected him?
They must have came across that taxi man.
Do you know what? Do they look at who was on the bus to the beach, or do they do that kind of a thing?
Maybe, I'm not too sure.
If you contact every single person that was on that bus and say, did you make it to your destination? Are you alive? And if there's one person that doesn't answer, but if he's a tourist, right? If no one in the area has claimed him or said, I have a missing person, then it goes to say that he's probably a tourist. What a tourist use public transport. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just wondering.
That must be how they did it. I don't think they would have done it. They probably would have realised that nobody's claimed the body. Then they realised it's a tourist. But I would say they contacted the hotels.
Yeah, because tourists stay in
and then gave a description of him.
And then they describe him to the staff.
This must be how they did it. Yeah. God, we should just change career paths.
I'm fascinated by those type of...
Like how they do it?
Yeah, fascinated.
Like the riddles and backwards. It took... Okay. So they were able to trace him back to the Sligo City Hotel where he had left his information. Peter Bergmann Instersten 154472, Vienna, Austria.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think is going to happen next?
Oh gosh, are they gonna contact people in Austria where he was living and see? I don't know. Does anybody know him there? Or
Yeah, so they contact Austria. Well, they don't contact Austria. Hello,
hello,
Austria.
Austria.
Hello, Austria. How's it going? Yeah, they like try to look up this place and to like make contact or ring the authorities in Austria in this town. But they quickly find that the town Intersten does not exist.
You know, I watched a series on Netflix. Do you know what? Do you know what it was? It was the Unsolved Mysteries.
Uh-huh.
But one of the episodes was very similar to this. It was a lady. I think she was from either France or somewhere. Do you remember that episode? And it turned out that she was
Spy.
an undercover agent, like a
Mm-hmm.
spy, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And they found it really hard to find out who she was.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, this is a big segue. You can cut this out. But she had like a jumper on.
Uh-huh.
She had in her closet there was like a jumper
Uh-huh.
and a jacket, but there was no trousers or any type of bottom.
Yes, I remember that.
Skirt.
Yes. I think
Do you remember that?
This is in one of my theories at the end.
But it's really similar because and the fact that like no one can claim that person just makes you think they're like an undercover like spy or like a hitman or something. I was watching John Wick the other day.
Oh God, John Wick.
So ridiculous. Like all these hitmen. Anyway.
Okay, so the town Intersten does not exist in Austria or Germany. Also, the postcode 4472 for Vienna, Vienna postcodes start with the number 1, so it's not even a real postcode.
Yeah.
So the whole address is completely made up.
Phony.
Mm-hmm. So the police thought, okay, if this address is fake, what are the chances his name is fake too?
Yeah, exactly.
The Austrian government confirmed that they had never issued a passport to a Peter Bergmann fitting the physical characteristics and age of this guy. They contacted Germany.
I would have thought the chances would be that there would be someone similar.
I know, right? I mean, Peter is such a common name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't issue one that fell within like his age and like his description. Like he's like this tall with these color eyes.
I suppose.
You know, like Germany never issued a passport either. Neither had all of Europe, and neither had any of neither had any of the Americas. So it's all a bit weird. But police in Ireland and me, I agree. I mean, he must know something about Austria because he said he was from Austria and he spelt his name with 2 N's. And apparently it's the only place in the world that spells Bergman with 2 N's. And that's pretty...
Very interesting.
Very
Unless
interesting.
he knew that and used it to throw them off.
Apparently he spoke with a very Germanic accent. Like he had that accent.
Okay.
So who the fuck is this man? That's the next title of my section.
WTF.
Or who the fuck.
Yeah.
But we're just going to keep calling him Peter to avoid any confusion.
Okay.
So when police realize that, you know, this guy doesn't exist, the police start to look at the last few days of Peter Bergmann's life captured on CCTV footage, what we just went over. The police watched the CCTV footage and it was clear in hindsight that Peter Bergmann was going about Sligo with his little purple plastic bag purposefully. Investigators noted that his movements were very meticulous and very methodical, as if he knew exactly where to dispose of the plastic bags.
At any point, I wonder, was he kind of on the phone receiving instructions of where to go?
I also thought of this.
Or had he, like, is my theory of he's paranoid and he's hearing voices in his head, so he doesn't even need to be listening to someone on the phone. Someone is telling him in his head, go to this bin and do this. Like, you know, what was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, can you imagine the amount of time it would take to go through that CCTV footage and identify him? You would have to start from the hotel and say, okay, where's the next camera?
Yeah. He
could have gone left. He could have gone right. You know, like, hours of time.
Oh, it took them forever.
Amazing. For a man that you don't even know where he's from, it's just so much work, isn't it? It's just like unbelievable.
Peter had been able to use blind spots of their surveillance to conceal the disposal of the contents of the bag.
So it was apparent that he knew
Mm-hmm.
how to, that he purposefully was
Was
concealing.
Yeah, like he noticed the cameras and like was able to put his back to the camera.
See, that's
Mm-hmm.
bonkers to me.
Right.
I never see, hardly ever see cameras.
Same. I never
Very
noticed them.
unaware of them.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
suppose if you're looking out for them, but they can be hard to spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They
And
can
why
be.
would they be at the bins? Are bins important ones, or I don't know, like
I think it's just like, either government cameras or like local pubs, shops cameras just pointing up the street and it
yeah,
sees
and the
him.
bins just happen to
They
be
happen to
there.
be there. But like he's
Mm-hmm.
like putting his back so they can see that he is emptying the bag into the bin, but they cannot see
Oh,
what was
I
in the
really
bag.
hope we find out. Pardon me, it's thinking we won't, but I really hope we do find out what's in the purple bags. Otherwise, it's going to drive me friggin' crazy.
uh,
But at the same time, it could be absolute nonsense in there
mm-hmm.
because I think this man is not in a good mental state. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
But would like
it might
somebody
just be
who's having like a
nonsense.
psychotic break, would they have the wherewithal
Yeah.
to be so meticulous?
Yeah, but yes and no. I mean, he he could think that he's doing everything in a correct. It could be.
Mm.
I don't know.
Police stated that they had conducted extensive searches throughout all of Sligo. They looked in all of the rubbish bins, all of the public areas, all of the gardens of private properties, car parks, and they even searched the local dump. But they were never
This
able
is
to
so much work.
retrieve what they think might or could have been in the plastic bags.
I suppose you're looking for a purple bag, right? Did he actually? No, he just
No,
emptied
most
the contents.
most people think that he emptied the bag and then folded it up and put it in his pocket because it would have been
Yeah,
so
because he's just
easy.
reusing the same
Yeah, it
one.
would have been so
So,
easy to find the purple bag. Like, I don't think he threw the
but
bag in the
how do
bin.
you know what to look for then? I
I
mean,
know. It's
like
like,
all those bins would have been emptied by
yeah,
the time he was found dead.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And then, like, it took them
And I'd
ages
love
to
to
find out
know
who he was.
what. Yeah, there's so much time has passed, and I mean, I'd love to know where the purple bag came from. I
Hmm.
mean, was there branding on it? Did it belong to a?
So, police, they assume, and I think, I agree, that he was disposing of personal belongings and documents that could reveal his identity. Like, this
Ah.
is where his ID went, this is where his passport went, his phone.
But then, begs the question: why didn't he want to be identified? Is it because he didn't want to hurt any of his loved ones by them finding out that he's dead? But I'd rather know if you're dead than just you disappear forever. Or did he do something really bad and he doesn't want it to like catch up with him?
Yes, there are some people who think that he was perhaps a convict or like somebody on the run, like a
Yeah.
criminal on the run, and that he was disposing
But
of.
a criminal on the run, would you rather die than go to prison? Or
I don't think so.
maybe he did something really bad and he knew if he went to prison, people would like destroy him in there.
But then why hide your stuff?
What
Why
do you
why
mean?
would you hide your identity?
So that it doesn't follow him. Like perhaps he was a prominent enough person with like a standing in society of some kind, and
Mm-hmm.
he didn't want that like mark to like tarnish him. So if you kind of disappear, then people you don't have that mark against you. But I don't know. Do you care what people think about you after you die? I guess you do. You do.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Anyway.
Big questions.
Uh-huh. So they think that he was trying to hide his true identity. And the fact that they seen him reading little pieces of paper and tearing up the paper,
Mm-hmm.
it looked like he was following a plan.
Okay.
Like it seemed like all of this is
I
planned
thought the
out.
pieces of paper perhaps contained like four different reasons why like suicide, death by suicide was the best option.
Hmm.
I don't know, like to reassure himself or something, to convince
To me,
himself.
I
I'm not
thought
sure
I
why I thought
thought
that.
it was because he was so meticulous. Like he, went in and out of the hotel to empty the purple bag, and then he
Uh-huh.
like got the car to Ross's Point, and then he came back, and then he went here, and then he went there. I was just like, is he like is a checklist. Is the paper a
Okay,
checklist?
yeah, checklist. Why on separate pieces of paper though?
I don't know.
That's bizarre to
But
me.
then I was also thinking
Checklist.
maybe on those little pieces of paper, it's like addresses. Like, because
Okay,
he sent 8 letters with
that's
post
right.
stamps. And I was like, maybe it's people's addresses that he had wrote down on a piece of paper. And he's like looking
Perhaps,
back over
perhaps.
like at so and so, like my wife, my sister, my
Mhm.
son, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I have next. Although Peter never met anyone or seemed to make any phone calls, the fact that he bought 8 stamps tells us that he was in contact with people just days prior to his death. Like,
Yeah.
people will know he's dead. He just contacted 8 people.
But not necessarily to tell him he's gonna die.
But they would know that he's there, right?
They
Like
know that he's
like
in
he's
Sligo.
not a total loner in other words. He's not a
Yeah, I
drifter.
mean, but it depends what he wrote to them.
I suppose.
But yeah, to send, I mean, when have you ever sent something, like, oh, maybe he didn't use all the stamps, but even half of the stamps, like sending 4 things to 4 people at the same time? Like, when have you ever done that? I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
must have had the same message more or less in each. So,
yes, yeah,
it's hard to
true,
know.
true.
And that means 4 different people knew about his situation and knew that this would be,
Yeah, yeah,
reasonable, that he needs a way out or whatever. Yeah, so
yeah.
bizarre.
And no one ever came forward.
Wow.
Yeah. When Peter's clothing was recovered from the beach, investigators took note that he had removed every single label and tag off the clothes.
That is so similar to that
Mm-hmm.
Netflix episode with the
Mm-hmm.
spy. That's what spies do.
Yeah, police knew that this was a well constructed plan and he wanted to be untraceable. He wanted to be unknown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is some hitman,
Mm-hmm.
John Wick shit. Like, yeah, he does not want to be traced. I watched John Wick yesterday, and the third one where he is like excommunicated from the
Jesus.
group of hitmen,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, he needs to like disappear because everyone wants to kill him. I wonder, was this like
You think he's John
he
Wick?
knew he if you knew someone was coming to get you, you'd rather kill yourself rather than them get you, I suppose.
I suppose so.
But
Yeah.
like, are you a hitman at 60?
Well, I
Or
mean,
does something catch
hitmen.
up with you that you did as a hitman in your younger
That's what I was
years and
going
now
to
it's caught
say.
up with
Like,
you?
he could have been at some point, and then somebody figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What were his clothes like? Were they expensive?
I think
Like, I know the labels aren't on them, but you can tell by the materials.
somebody was able to like identify later that they were from like a normal like nice fashion place. Like I think
Yeah, but I suppose you could just buy those. Yeah,
it was just like a
maybe.
normal chain like H&M or something. It was like
Yeah.
just regular normal
Okay.
clothes. Like
Yeah.
although Peter had washed up on the beach, the medical examiner found no evidence of saltwater drowning.
What?
He didn't drown. There
What?
was
And anything that he ingested to.
no water in his lungs.
No, but in terms of, sorry, like arsenic or anything to kill oneself.
There were no signs of foul play, so he wasn't strangled, he wasn't hit, he wasn't suffocated. They did a toxicology and they didn't find any drugs in his system whatsoever.
Isn't there a drug that you can take that
It goes away right
doesn't
away.
leave a trace?
There is. I can't remember what
What
it
is
is. I
that
can't
drug?
remember.
I can't remember either. There is a drug that doesn't leave a trace.
The man's teeth were in good condition and showed signs of frequent dental work in his life. He had bridging, root canals, crowns, and a gold tooth in the side of his mouth. He had a
Guy's got everything going on. What
small.
is bridging?
I'm not too sure. Is that for like
Okay.
older people when they lose their teeth? I'm not too sure.
Okay. Okay.
And a small
He is
silver,
60, like.
yeah, and a small silver filling along the gum of the tooth of the lower side. So he had like quite extensive dental work, which means that like
From all those punches in the face as an assassin, just saying. I know. Everything is fitting in with this theory.
it is, right? But I mean, like, how weird
Yeah.
is that, right? Okay, so that means he's definitely got multiple medical dental records. I mean,
Somewhere,
he would
yeah.
have been x-rayed and he's done teeth impressions so many times.
Mm-hmm.
and nobody's came forward. No dentists came forward.
Can you kind of like photograph or scan someone who is deceased, like scan their teeth and then just like email it to all the dentists in Austria, and then they have to by law match it up to their records and say, do they have a match? Like, is that not a thing? Why isn't that a thing?
I think yes, they sent all of the information, all of this
Okay, so they
information.
do that and then just no one replies. So
Yeah,
maybe someone was being paid to keep quiet. If he's an
maybe.
assassin, you're my dentist, but don't put me on the books and I'll pay you a bit extra money. Some dentists would do that, no doubt.
Maybe he took his medical records, maybe he asked for them and then disposed of them. Now, although he was well groomed and well dressed and his teeth were in good shape, he was actually in very poor physical health. Peter was unfortunately riddled with cancer. He had prostate
No.
cancer that had spread into his bones.
Oh.
He had also had a kidney removed at some point.
Oh.
The autopsy,
Again, a big surgery.
right, big surgery. The autopsy also
I
revealed.
mean, sorry, kidneys, some people take them out and don't put another one in then, I guess.
What are you talking about? You can't put another one in.
Can you not?
No! It's like,
Why not?
what? You only need one kidney.
I know you only need one, but if there's another one going, I'll take it. Can you not have another? Can you not do a swap? I don't know. Maybe you can't.
No, it seems like he needed to take it out,
I
or
know
he
you can just
donated.
have one,
And
but like
it seems like he donated it, or he had like an injury or
uh,
something.
there was something wrong with it. I had to take it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The autopsy also showed that he had suffered in the past from multiple heart attacks.
Whoa.
And it was a final heart attack that appeared to take his life.
Whoa. So wait a minute. This maybe wasn't a suicide then,
Mm.
or unless he ingested something that gave him a cardiac arrest.
The medical examiner noted that for someone in such poor health and suffering from such daily and chronic pain, toxicology showed that he was not on any painkillers or any drugs.
Whoa.
Hmm.
Hardcore.
Right? Also, another thing, like he might be a tough spy.
Yeah, some of those older dudes, they don't really want the drugs.
The doctor said that it's possible he didn't know he had all of this cancer, and that's why he wasn't on drugs. But that doesn't make any sense. When I
Mm,
mean, like, just because you don't know you have bone cancer, I mean, surely you're still in pain.
yeah, you would think so.
But then, like, some other people were saying that they knew. One theory is that he knew he was really, really sick, and so he decided
Mm.
to go to the beach. But I don't understand, if you knew you were sick, why would you go to some random place in Ireland instead of just dying with your family? I don't know.
I mean,
It doesn't really make much sense to me.
when did do we have record of him arriving into the country?
This is you're doing exactly what I did. I was just like, well, we need to go back further.
Uh-huh.
We started in Stroke City. Like,
Yes.
where was he before that?
Yeah.
That's what I want to
Do we
know. How
do we
did he
know?
come? Like, as well, like he went down into this. He went to the south of Ireland.
Yeah.
Like, like I'm like, did he fly in from Austria to the Northern Ireland and then came down to
Or
Ireland?
was he in the UK and
Or
flew
was
to Northern
see,
Ireland
that's what
and
I
then
would think,
took a
because
bus down into the
yes,
south?
because why wouldn't he just fly from Austria to Dublin? Why is he coming
So
down
we
from the
don't have any
north?
records of the flight then. So I mean, he could have been living in Northern Ireland for a while
He might have been.
under a different name, and if we can't connect him to that name, then we just don't know.
So for months, the investigators explored different options, using the media in Europe to run stories on this mysterious man. Investigators also sent and made available his DNA and fingerprints to Europe, but to no avail.
Nothing came up. And I mean, if he was an assassin, at some point you would think you would run into the law and you
Hmm.
get fingerprinted, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Unless you're really, really good
Well,
one. I don't know.
Interpol have never reported someone matching Peter's description as wanted or missing. So if he is
And I
a
mean, he didn't have
notorious,
any.
Mm?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And he didn't have any plastic surgery. Obviously, that you'd be able to tell
I'd say
if
so.
he had that done.
I'd say so. There would be scars on his face and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So his face is his face.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. So obviously he's not like some big drug cartel because he would have been put
Mhm.
on Interpol as a wanted man.
Mhm.
If he's a missing person, like nobody has put up a missing person on Interpol. Like a family
Mhm.
or friend hasn't put him up. So
Again, that feeds into the assassin theory
yeah.
because a lot of the time the families are paid off
Yes.
more or less for life. If
Yes.
you die as an assassin, your family will be taken care of, and that is the agreement, and they have to just not talk.
Yeah. Essentially,
And like
yes.
sometimes these spies and undercover agents, they can be part of the government, so that's even more of a
Yeah.
lockdown of information if it's through a government
Yeah, because the
organization.
government will just block it and just be like,
Yeah,
no,
it'll be
you
blocked everywhere.
can't go any
Yeah.
further. Yeah.
Mhm.
5 months after Peter's body was found on the beach, he was buried in Sligo.
Oh.
The funeral was attended by four Gardaí.
Oh, it is. It just doesn't feel right. You just feel like, is this the proper resting place?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, he did go there to intentionally pass or not. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it was intentional, but like, if he was happy to pass on the beach, pass over on the beach, I guess then to bury him in Sligo is okay. Then
Mm-hmm.
it's weird. You got to do it at some point.
Mm-hmm. So here are some of the theories. Some people believe that he was a career criminal on the run, but that doesn't make sense because he
Hmm.
wasn't on Interpol. Um,
Well, does everyone go on Interpol?
yeah, if he's like a wanted, if he's that wanted that he flew to Sligo to dispose of contraband.
Yeah. Or is he just paranoid? And it just seems to me either it was a total fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
or he is a spy and had, or a criminal and had reason. It has to be one of the two,
I am
you know.
definitely leaning towards spy.
Yeah. Any other theories apart from spy?
It seems to be either career criminal
Mm-hmm.
or it was he wanted to die in peace.
Because he didn't want his family to track him. And why this affinity with Ireland?
Yeah.
Why do you want to die there? Maybe he was living in the north, or I'm agreeing with you. I think spy is the
Yeah.
strongest.
Like he knew he was going to take his life, or the government or the agency was just like, right, it's time for you to go.
Mm-hmm.
That, like you said, the family is well looked after, like financially, and
Mm-hmm.
they're told you can't speak out, blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
um, like I think he was posting goodbye letters to his family, and like maybe informing the agency that he's going to do it, or this is where he's going to be, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, because 8 letters is quite a lot of letters.
It really is. And the chances of 8 people not speaking
Uh
up
huh.
is like, yeah. So they
Yeah,
knew.
because to me, I don't know like how a spy decides to die. Because like we have seen all those there different spies as well, with their tags are cut and they're mysterious, and they're always people from out of town. That like, you know, and it's just like, well, maybe the family can't know because if he decided to take his own life because he had cancer or something like this here, like, what's with the secrecy?
Yeah, that's it.
I also think that maybe he did know, like, just because there was no painkillers in his body doesn't mean he wasn't in pain. So I'm thinking the way he died was that he was in incredible pain. And so he waded into the water and basically knew that, eventually he'll have a heart attack and die. Like, if he goes in deep enough with the water, will be thrashing him. Like, he knows he can give himself a heart attack.
Yeah, maybe. The shock of the cold water, but I don't know if is that enough to bring on a heart attack. I don't know a lot about heart attacks, but yeah, the stress of it, maybe.
Yeah, and like, because
It
if he was
is
in pain,
bizarre that it wasn't a drowning, that it
right?
was a heart attack. That's the bizarre part.
Right. Or what if it was
How
one of
did he
those
know?
heart attack guns that spies have?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, they can like shoot these little tiny, like, it's like the size of a grain of rice. they like shoot these little tiny like bullet type salt things into your heart, and it like kills you.
But that would show up on the autopsy.
Not necessarily.
Would a tiny rice in the heart?
It's not a piece of rice, but it's like, I think it's like salt or something like that they can shoot at from afar.
They do have things that when you need to get out, you know, because you have information, and if you've been captured by the enemy, they have lots of ways of like off yourself right now, because
they do.
That's part of the game, isn't it?
Not you game, have to be
part of the package.
That's part of the job, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that is the mysterious death of Peter Bergmann, or the death of the mysterious Mr. Bergmann, or Peter Bergmann.
Wow. Crazy. So yeah, I'm really intrigued now to go onto YouTube.
Yes, watch the videos.
Very intriguing. And I wonder, will anything ever come out? I feel like it won't, but
it doesn't.
It's an interesting one to kind of...
It doesn't seem likely, unless something does come up with the DNA.
Yeah, that's the only thing, yeah. Very good, that was a good one.
Yeah, I like mysterious ones like that.
Yeah, I like that kind of thing as well.
Oh.
Very good.
All right.
Well, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Slán Abhaile.
Bye-bye.
Me Time and Murder would like to thank and acknowledge our sources that make this podcast possible. References can be found on our Instagram page.